he went in there, like he never dived deep.
So in other words, he doesn't know.
Like he knows that there are sexy photos, but not like deep, you know.
So he doesn't know that you
Deep,
have
deep?
sex on camera?
What is deep?
No, I don't have
deep?
sex on camera. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have sex on camera. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What type of
Yeah.
work do you do there with OnlyFans?
Like I do something like artsy, like it's like exotic photos.
At sea?
No, it's
Like you're on a boat?
no art.
Maritime OnlyFans?
ART.
Huh?
Art.
Oh,
Artsy.
Etsy.
Yeah, sensual
Artsy.
photos.
She means artsy.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
artsy.
Sorry.
Okay, artsy. Okay.
So you don't do any
At
type
sea.
of, what's considered cam work, where you're taking special photos for men, or you're on camera doing certain sex acts for men. You're not doing any of that.
I wouldn't say like sex ed, like not the BG type everything.
Okay, well, what kind then?
I guess like, is it necessary to answer?
Well, the only reason that I'm
Yeah,
asking, because believe you me, I could give a shit less about it ultimately, is whether or not your father actually knows, and if he doesn't know the depth of the actual work that you do, and you say that you're close to him, well, I don't understand why he wouldn't know that.
I wouldn't say that he's close enough to know like about the OnlyFans side. Like he doesn't know like what goes on inside there. Yeah, but
What if he did know?
I guess I would wish that he's okay, you know, like
Yeah, would he be though?
I don't think any parents would be 100% okay, like
I agree.
to be honest.
Yeah, but
like,
you would. Like when we went around the table and it was asked
mean-
if, you caught your daughter in a gangbang, you
Yeah.
were cool with that, right?
I mean, I would be okay is because I've been through it, so I'm gonna judge
Yeah.
less. But the thing is,
So then it's not true for parents then, right? Because
Yeah,
if
yeah.
your daughter's in a gangbang, it's fine, no problem. But your dad, he's gonna be not so happy with it.
it depends on the generation, right? So every generation, they become more open-minded, I would say.
Yeah, I'm not sure that every generation becomes more open-minded.
I mean, that's
I
not
think they
sound-
become more divided,
Oh.
but I'm not sure about open-minded.
Let's
So
have.
I'm
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just curious then. I just want to make sure I got this right. Your dad doesn't actually really know what it is that you do.
Yeah, I don't think he no.
Yeah.
Are
And if
these-
he did, he would not be happy, would he?
Yeah, I don't think he would be that happy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the most pleasant sight, I would say. You know, it's like, whoa, I did not raise my daughter to be like that.
Not only
Yeah.
that, but I feel like, there are a lot of things that parents don't always need to know and stuff about their children's life, like about their sex life and whatever. Like, I don't think parents want to know about.
I think that parents want to know if their kids are engaged in prostitution. I think they want to know that.
Oh, okay.
Don't you think, like, if your daughter was going to be, well, I mean, you guys may not care, but for like normal, regular people, don't you think that they would want to know if their daughter or son was going to engage in prostitution so that
can
they could
you-
maybe do something about that?
Yeah, can you like define prostitution?
Yeah, somebody who sells sexual acts or favors for money.
Okay, so but then if it's like just normal sexy photos, would that be considered as a form of like prostitution?
Yeah, I think if you're selling sexual photos for money, that you're a prostitute as well.
So is
yeah.
every like Instagram influencer is a prostitute?
A lot of them, I would say, are prostitutes if they're doing it for the nature of sexuality itself.
So like, what about models?
Well, what about them?
Like a lot of models, for example, they actually, go on a stage like showing their boobs and stuff, because it's the outfit and whatever. So
Well,
they're
what kind of
prostitutes.
model are you talking about?
Like runaway models and stuff.
Yeah, I think that there's a distinction in intent. So I think that that intent is what matters here, and I don't think that it's an intentional thing for a lot of these women to go out and try to be promiscuous or sell promiscuity, whereas I would say that you guys purposely are doing so.
Our intention is to monetize from selling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, I'm sorry, but I do have to move things along a little bit here. Are your parents still together?
Yes.
Okay. Your answer to the original question, and are your parents still together?
Yeah, so I don't think my parents would be like proudest of me, for whatever the career choice I picked. My parents were together until I was 18.
Okay.
They are still together.
And then what was the other question? It was
The other question is
Your relationship with your
sorry.
dad, I guess. Sorry, I have a very close relationship.
yeah. What's your
with my
relationship
dad.
with your dad?
Yeah, really good relationship with my dad. My parents are still together.
Yeah, parents are
Parents still together.
same. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And can I just expand on this a little more, Brian, if you don't mind? So I'm just wondering, kind of over to your left, gal in red. I'm sorry, I
Bella.
didn't write the names perfectly. What did you say your
Fine.
name was again?
Bella. Bella.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, would you say also that your parents, you said they probably wouldn't be the most pleased? Why? Why do you think that? Why do you think they wouldn't like it?
Because, sex work is still taboo and stuff, and it's understandable. Like, for example, if I had a daughter, who started doing this at the age of 18, I wouldn't be happy with it either. I would actually try to guide her to do away from it. But
Well, doesn't that give you an intuition then that what you're doing is wrong?
No, it's not about doing what's wrong or right. What matters is a lot of people jump into this without really knowing the consequences. And of course, every action has its own consequences, right?
Well, I don't understand. What would you tell your daughter to avoid other than this that isn't wrong?
What do you mean that isn't wrong?
Well, so, I mean, would you tell your daughter to avoid things which are good?
Like, for
Or do you
example, I
only
would
tell her
actually...
to avoid things which are bad?
I would actually try to advise her on a lot about the pathway she should pick, right? Like, for example, I could advise her on, hey, you should do this major instead of this major. You should probably go to college. You should do this and that. She should weigh out all of her options.
Yeah,
instead of
right. Sure.
jumping into it.
But assuming for a second that she
Mm-hmm.
said, I want to get a degree in photography
Okay.
rather than a degree in social science or something like this.
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily say that getting a degree in photography was bad.
I wouldn't
But you
say
would
doing
say,
sex
but you
working
would
is
say
bad
that
either.
getting a degree I'm sorry, not a degree, but engaging in OnlyFans work was bad.
I
to your
never
daughter,
said it was
right?
bad. I said there's
wouldn't say that?
consequences. Every action has consequences. I don't think sex working is bad.
You wouldn't tell her it's bad?
No, I would just say, hey, there's a lot of consequences that you will face if you're a sex worker. Be knowledgeable of that. You are going to limit yourself in a lot of cases if you do become a sex worker. So I will advise her on the consequences
Mm-hmm.
she will face, but I don't think there's bad. in
Well, let's
sex
assume
working.
for a second, that, and this is a hypothetical, but I just would like to test this,
Okay.
that if you knew that if you said this is bad, it 100% would guarantee she wouldn't do it, would you tell her it was bad then?
No, I would not say it's bad.
No. Okay. Even if that would be the word that would be necessary to get her to not do it and do something else.
No.
No? Okay.
Children need to have options, right? And it's our parents' job to guide
Yeah, I mean,
them
do
and
they need to
provide
have
them.
the option to be a sex worker? Do they need that?
Okay.
That doesn't sound like something you need.
Okay, wait. But the thing is,
that's your opinion,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I know,
they're
but no, I don't
adults,
think it
they're
is. I
no,
mean,
no,
can
it
you
is,
make a
it is.
case?
Here's the
Can you
deal.
make a
Here's the
case
deal. We're
for
talking
why
about
somebody
adults,
would
right?
need to be a sex worker? Why does somebody need?
You don't need
that?
to do anything. You don't need to
Well,
even
then
go
why
to
did
college.
you just say
don't
they
need to
need
go to
to?
trade.
Then that makes no sense.
I didn't say that.
You did.
What did I say?
You literally, that was your argument. Your argument is, I think children need to have options. My counter was, I don't think they need to be sex workers. You said, I think they do need to have the option to
I
be
didn't
sex
say
workers.
they need
Why
to
would they
have an option
need
to have
to
sex
have the
work?
option
Children
to be a
need
sex
to be
worker? Hang on, you gotta let me
presented
finish
with
what I'm
options.
saying, or you can't even understand
No,
the
no, no. I'm
question.
not going to actually let you just put words into my mouth because I'm going
That's
to
what
stop
you
you when you're
said.
wrong. That's
Do kids
not what
need to
I
have the
said.
option? Do
That
18,
is
19
not
year
what
olds
I
need to have the
said.
option
You
or
need
not?
to calm down. That's not what I said. I said
Okay,
it's
what
a
did you
parent's
say?
job to provide them with guidelines to different options that they have, right? So if they come to you and say, hey, I'm considering sex working, it is an option they're considering, right? And it is your job to guide them and to be like, hey, you're an adult, I understand, but here are the options and here are the consequences. Hey, you considering sex working? This might limit you. Why don't you actually try to go to college, see how you like it, maybe get a corporate job or something, and then as an adult, once you face all the other decisions and all the other choices, if you still want to do sex working, it is what it is. I'll
Chris
support you.
donated $200. Thank you, panel, for standing up to Andrew. I would not have my panel of side chicks if it wasn't for women like you co-signing the BS that I tell them. You are helping us rich guys bangs girls on BC.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Speaking of birth
So-
control, wait, Andrew, is it all right if I move this along, or do you want?
I just want to finish this real quick.
Okay.
I just last point.
Okay.
So you do think that women need to have the option to be sex workers if they want? They need that, or no?
I'm not gonna use the word need. I feel like you're trying to put words into my mouth.
That's
You
why I'm
don't
asking
need to
you.
do
That would be the opposite of
anything.
me putting words in your mouth by asking
Wait,
you. Do you
can
think
I-
they need that option or not?
They can have that option. They don't
Yeah, I
need.
know.
You
Do
don't
you
need to
think
do
they need
anything.
it?
You don't need to go to college.
Yeah.
You don't need to marry. You don't need.
Right.
You don't need to do anything, right?
So we don't need to give people the option to be prostitutes. Like, we don't need to do that.
There is an option and still working.
Yeah, I know. There's a difference between is and ought, though. I don't know if you know that.
I understand that you would probably, if it was up to you, you would like try to implement like a policies and stuff like that. That's fine. That you do you. You get your morality through religion. I understand. Blah blah blah.
How
but
do you
that's
know?
Not, I'm just assuming.
Why?
You seem like
Because
a
you watched a
religious
bunch of shit? You watched a bunch of clips about me? Is that why?
I actually didn't. I actually didn't know about you before that. I'm
Then
not
why
gonna
did
lie.
you assume I've made a religious argument the entire evening?
Because the way you talked about sex working, the way you talked about sex.
Yeah, but why would that
Am I
require
wrong?
religion?
Wait, no. Hold on. Am I wrong? Do you not
No,
derive your
but,
morality
but
through
I'm
religion?
I'm asking a different question, which is why assume that if I've
People
never, if
could
I haven't made a
assume
religious
things, like
argument
it's
the
an
entire
I can
opinion.
evening?
assume things about you. You can just like you assume things about me. That's fine.
Couldn't,
so you
couldn't
can
he make a
correct
secular
me.
argument?
Yeah, I've
But
made
hold on,
nothing
you can
but
correct me,
secular
right?
arguments.
You can correct me and be like, no, Bella, you're wrong. I don't derive my morality
You
through
guys-
religious
Yeah,
reasons.
but there's no reason to correct you. I'm just asking why you assumed it.
Then
That's
I
just for
assumed
me.
correctly.
It's not a trick. It's like literally not a trick question. I'm just curious.
No, I understand, but I assumed correctly.
Yeah, I know, but why though? That's my question.
Yeah, what's your point?
Why did you make the assumption?
Because when you were debating with her in regards to morality and stuff, you were basing your moral arguments based on religion. So
No, I didn't. I never made a religious argument. In fact, it was an internal critique of consequentialism, which I don't even believe in, to try to make a comparison between if the consequence of this is the same as the consequence of this, why wouldn't you support it? That makes no sense. Had nothing to do with religion at all.
okay, then am I still right though that you drive your
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
morality through
you're correct. I'm
religion?
religious. I'm just
Yeah.
curious as to why you assumed it. That's all.
The reason why I assumed it just based on your arguments, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you assume
Very
generally that
long-winded way,
people who are
isn't
against
he, of
sex work
answering
are?
that? It's her
Well, the re-
opinion. She assumed
Let me get.
it,
Let me get.
and,
Hang on. Let me get at why I think this because.
Sorry, repeat that.
Do you think it's because people generally who are against sex work are religious?
Did you say people who do sex work
Wait,
are
guys, can
typically
you
No,
please
people who are against
a
it.
few more, please, both of you.
Yeah.
Let's,
I'm
let's
almost
move this
done.
forward.
I just want to know this last thing. Is it because you think that people who generally are against sex work are religious?
people who are generally in sex work are not religious? They might be spiritual, but they don't
All
necessarily
right.
align themselves
never
with
mind.
specific religion.
I don't even think you understand what I'm saying. But we'll move it along.
I just think I'm not saying what you want me to say, so you're just saying that.
No, I mean, I asked a completely different question.
seem to
The
reword
question
the
that I
same
asked
thing.
is
Okay,
people
say
who
it
are
again. I'll
against.
try to
You got to
listen
stop
to you.
talking. You can't hear.
Okay, say it again.
People who you got to stop talking. You can't hear what I'm saying.
Why not?
People who are against sex work are generally religious, not people who engage in it who are against it. People who are not for it
I see
are
what you mean.
usually religious. Do you understand?
Not typically. Like I feel like there's actually more non-religious people in today's day and age, and they consider sex working to be a taboo.
All right.
So not everyone who's against sex work is a religious person, but I guess all the religious people would be against sex work. Does that answer your question?